Welcome to the PioPitch video podcast. My name is Lauvray, and I am a freshman at Marietta College, majoring in sports medicine and minoring in business. Our guest today is Nikki Butler, artist and founder of Nikki Butler Design. Thank you for talking to me, Nikki.
Happy to be here today, Lou.
First question first. I understand that you graduated from Marietta College in 1999 with a BA in graphic design and worked in various different positions, and you started your own business, Nikki Butler Design, in 2011. Could you tell us a bit about your journey after college and why you decided to start your own business?
I actually started my career before I graduated. So my spring semester of senior year, I started working for the Glass Press. You've probably seen that big mural on 2nd Street. It overlooks the parking lot across from Tampico. Yeah. Well, I worked up in that building, and we published books and a magazine on collectible glass. So I felt fortunate to have, a job in publishing as my first gig out of college. So that's what I started with. I did a little bit of freelance work after that, and then ultimately landed at Stonewall Marketing on Front Street. I worked with the Stonewall Group as a graphic designer for 10 years. And during that time, I found a website where I could upload designs and have fabric printed. And I've always liked to sew. So for me, that was my two worlds colliding. And I developed a product line out of that using fabrics that I designed. I made scarves and purses, and I was juried in at Tamarack. That was probably around 2011, and then that's when I officially launched Nikki Butler Design. So ultimately, I ended up and left the agency in 2013 so that I could devote more time to the product line and the business associated with that. So I had really amped up my freelance graphic design work in order to kind of help get that fabric design business off the ground. And the graphic design work continued to grow, and the fabric design business did not. And I learned that I don't like keeping track of inventory, and it was a very labor-intensive process because I designed the fabrics and I designed the products and made the products and marketed the products. So the profitability and scalability just wasn't there. So I have phased out of fabric design and strictly do freelance graphic design. So I guess that's a long answer, but I kind of came to entrepreneurship in a roundabout sort of way. I didn't really intend to work for myself, but I love it.
Going off of how you kind of phased out your designing materials, do you miss it at all?
I think the creative process was fun, coming up with what that initial design was and the initial product. But once you've made it once, it's really not all that exciting to just become a production designer and just do the same thing over and over again. So yeah, I do miss the creativity of it.
Yeah, I'm sure that would kind of be a little upsetting going from one to the...
Actually, I probably got more good press out of the fabric design than any graphic design that I've ever done.
Working with graphic design and all of your clients, have you ever had some adversity, you guys just didn't really click?
I feel like I'm not strictly just a vendor with my clients. I really try to be a true partner to them. I'm very ingrained in their business. I want to understand how their business works so that I can genuinely help them in their business. I mean, I've had a few clients where, ultimately a different opportunity came up for them or for me that made more sense. So that I've really had real adversity that way.
What would you say is the most rewarding part about your business?
I mean, I love the flexibility of being an entrepreneur. That's really good, to be able to work when and how I want to. And ultimately, I choose who I work for. I think really seeing something tangible out there. I remember the first time I designed an outdoor board, and to drive past that is just pretty cool the first time. I do some work over in the eastern panhandle of West Virginia for a hotel, and it's very cool to sit and see, my logo on coasters and some of the clever things that we've done in the space. To see the real world use, I think is pretty neat.
I bet that would be just really cool. Hey, that's my design right there. Have you had any trouble? Did the pandemic affect your business at all?
It did in unexpected ways, I guess. I do a lot of social media and marketing in addition to graphic design and print design. So with my social media clients, it was an immediate change because, before the pandemic, we would schedule things out several weeks or even a month in advance. April 2020, it was like, okay, what can we post about today? Because nobody knows what's going to be relevant or happening tomorrow. So trying to keep up with all of that, literally posting and curating content day to day to day was a big shift. Ultimately, all of my clients saw me as an essential employee to their business, even though I'm freelance. So I didn't lose any accounts over that. Budgets were cut for sure, but I was deemed essential, which I'm still thankful for.
That's really nice to not have to worry about all that. What projects are you working on at the moment?
I have a pretty big variety of what I'm working on. I have a logo for a hotel right now that I'm just getting started with. So I'm excited to see that come together. I haven't pulled my ideas together yet, but that's a fun project. I've got some menus for the inn and brewing company that I talked about. So I always think that's fun because I know that they'll be used. I know that I'll see those. I've got a couple big travel guides that I'm working on, visitors guides. I work with some convention visitors bureaus. So really branding and logos are kind of my specialty, along with multi-page print pieces. So I always like doing those. It's, allows me to really dig in and, have 24 pages I can work with to tell the whole story. So that's kind of fun. There's a jewelry trunk show coming up at Terry Ann's in May. So I will help promote that. And we're kicking off riding season for S&P Harley Davidson. Got lots of promotion things for all of those. And I'm working on invitations for my daughter's college graduation party. A lot of different things in the works.
Your daughter's college graduation party, I bet that's fun to design for and get ready for.
Yeah, it's always fun to do some personal stuff.
So you said that you take time to go through logos. How long does it take you to design an entire logo for someone?
It's a process for sure, and some give and take from the client. I always want them to have input up front, depending on whether it's an individual or a group. We'll do some research or some questionnaire beforehand to get some feedback. Maybe it's a whole board of directors that we want feedback from, or one person. And then, once I feel like they've given me all of that, usually within 2 to 3 weeks, I'll pull together multiple examples, and then we'll see how close we came on that. But it's always a give and take. I want them to be really pleased with it and feel like it represents them. I've done some that I think are really beautiful, nice solutions, but if it doesn't really have the emotional feeling that the client wants, then I want them to pick one that works for them.
Yeah, and going off of that, I saw that last year your business placed among the top 3 in the Mid-Ohio Valley, in the design category. Congratulations, by the way. What was the unique value that you offer to your customers that sets you apart from other designers?
I want to be a partner for my clients. I don't want to be a vendor. I dig in. I want to help them reach the people that they want to reach in that way. And my clients say that I make them look good.
That's always fun to get really good feedback and stuff. Must be really nice. What is the most important thing that you've learned as a designer and or business owner?
Probably 2 different things. As a designer, I think it's that ultimately I'm just a problem solver. How can I organize all of this information down into something that people can understand and understand the action that we want them to take? A lot of times it's just funneling down all of the facts and photos and arranging them in a way to solve a problem. As a business owner, what I've learned is probably to make it work for you. And that was kind of a hard lesson to learn. Ultimately, I get to be in charge of this business, so it needs to work really well for me. I work really well from home. I structure my business around that.
Is there any advice that you would give to up and coming designers?
I would say to observe the world, make time to get out and just be inspired by different things that may be different things to different people. I enjoy just going to a more urban environment or retail environment, seeing the packaging that's there or how they display things. Subscribe to every magazine under the sun. Just really allowing time for that. Go to see art and listen to music. I can't always tangibly explain how that will affect something, but there might be some little piece of it that gets worked in. opinion.
I always think it's like up for your own interpretation. Like you like what you like, but you don't like what you don't like. It's all up for like whatever you want, but like it also has to like please a big crowd of people. I think that concludes our interview. Thank you so much for participating in this PioPitch video podcast, Ms. Butler. I will talk to you later.
All right. Sounds great. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. If you need anything, let me know.
Alrighty. Thank you so much. Bye.